And we're live. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. Hello. So, welcome to the channel. We've got a writer wind down, and that is writer in the most inclusive term possible, because I have a guest here today who maybe wouldn't consider that her profession or her career, but who definitely writes to a purpose. So, Bethanne, why don't you introduce us to what you do on your channel?
Yeah.
Or
Yes, all the things. Yes, I'm Bethanne. My full channel name has my very long last name in it, so maybe I can link it at some point. But my channel is primarily Booktube, so I like to read books and talk about them with lovely folks like Margaret. And in real life, I am a scientist, so I actually do write quite a bit. And that's a funny thing to wrap into my identity, because scientists, we don't typically think of ourselves as writers, but that is actually our bread and butter. It's our main way of communicating. So I actually will be thinking about writing projects tonight, because I need to figure out my strategy for making progress on several over the next few weeks. So yeah, different type of writing, but perhaps similar skills. We're all telling stories.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So you sound like you're going to be in a planning mode, but let me let everyone know, the wind down can be whatever you need it to be. So for me, I've got options. So I've got the journal that's like by my nightstand for processing. So if you want to look back on the day and sort of take stock or digest emotional things, like that's a great way to have your cortisol sort of come back to lower levels. I too have a planner. So like if I'm looking forward to videos or publishing timelines and things like that, I'll often use this or scratch paper to work out ideas and then feel like, okay, I've got maybe more of a handle on how this is going to play out. But whatever you feel like, we're just here to sort of relax. And I was telling people, for these, I'm trying to slow down and lower the timbre of my voice, because I think normally in my videos, I'm talking like this and I'm like a very high energy. So for the evening, I'm trying to accompany people to like a different zone before dreamland. I don't know if that's come across.
Interesting. I can try to join you in that space. I'm normally in the fast, peppy talker category.
Yeah. So we have a few people in the chat. Leslie. I think that's our friend Leslie at a different channel. She says, I might be late, so popping in to say hello. Hello. And Catpaw also booped the like button. Thank you. Have a nice evening. I'll listen to the replay with the pause. Very cute. Yeah, so we just have a few minutes of talking and then the timer and then the sort of recap. And hopefully that helps people just feel a little bit more loosened up and not as worried or anxious about, their process. You said writing goals. So I know you just went through a bit of a transition, and you told us in one of your recent videos that like changed jobs, and that's like in the middle, not in the middle. You're in the summer now, so this is like past the first few months.
Yeah.
But how are you feeling about the world in general, or Booktube's like small piece in your life? Either of those options.
Yeah. The world in general has a lot going on. My little slice of the world in general, I feel like, is going quite well at the moment. So yeah, did just do a big job transition. And this week has been incredibly hectic. So I've been at my biggest professional conference, like a few thousand people, making a lot of connections, brainstorming new projects, which is not what I should be doing. Yeah, so feeling very productive, but also like I have a lot of balls in the air. And I would like to bring some of those balls safely, securely out of the air.
Right.
And to move them on. Yeah. And actually the transition to this new job, I was just talking to coworkers at dinner about, now that I've moved out of an academic space. I was a professor until a few months ago, and I'm in a private industry space. I actually have time for hobbies. And Booktube for me started in the pandemic, when we all had a little more time for hobbies, and then slowly started to fall by the wayside a little bit as life got crazy again. But I do sort of feel like I have the potential for a new beginning here that I'm excited about. So I've been able to read a lot more. which is always my top priority, is how can I read more in my life? So I've been reading a lot more with the new job. And I'm hoping, I've been traveling basically for the past month. So part of me wanting to plan my writing projects and things is just trying to get into more of a routine after a month of travel.
Yeah.
And hopefully be able to fit in my lovely booktube hobby again and get back to posting regularly. That would be amazing. So yeah, that's kind of where my headspace is around booktube.
Nice. Do you have any recent favorites that you've read?
So, okay. I had the unbelievable pleasure of starting a book on Sunday, over 500-page fantasy book, and getting to read it nonstop until Monday afternoon because I was just on planes and in airports, and I had like a delayed flight, and I was like, my flight is delayed and it's the best thing that's ever happened because I can finish my book. So the book in question, I actually have right here. It's Daughter of the Forest. Yeah. And I would have been obsessed with it as a teenager. So I also like sort of read it with that mind frame of like, this would have just blown my world wide open if I'd read it when I was like 14. And I was able to recapture that energy. So I'm still riding that high of being able to just like lose myself in a book without having demands on my time that pull me out of it. And that just made me so happy. And it was an excellent book. Like I would totally recommend it to everybody. Yeah, it's like fantasy retelling of Irish myth that according to reviews is done in like a very good, well-researched way. I wouldn't know that specifically from my own experience, but it seems like it's very well done. The writing was just gorgeous. The characters were great, and I loved it. Yeah.
I read that in the last 5 years too. I didn't read
really.
Yeah, and I really liked it. I went on to read the second in the series, and then as series do with me, it just sort of like yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have a completionist anything, but, but I did really like it, and I liked the through lines and the values and the strange mystery. It was cool.
Yeah, it's slow and deep and beautiful. Like it's definitely a slow fantasy, and I just apparently was really in the mood for that.
Nice.
Yeah, loved it.
In the mood, indeed. And Jocelyn come in and say hello, and JK Lambo, hello. So, slowing down, winding down, we're gonna put our lovely TLRS lifestyle timer up on the screen. And I'm gonna start the music. I'll mute myself, and we'll be able to work on our own projects, whatever we're working on. Bethanne has said what she's going to work on is writing projects and priorities, and I don't know yet, so I'll tell you after.
Cool.
But, yes. So we'll see you all in 30 minutes, and have fun. Like, take some deep breaths. Don't forget to take some water in, and yeah, we'll see you in 30 minutes. See how you feel.
Perfect. Good luck.
I like how I have Tiffany's voice in my head when I see that at the end.
Nice.
Yay. Okay.
Mm.
It just seems like 2 minutes, right? Like, ooh,
Yeah. That felt short. Yeah. It was perfect timing though, because I just kind of finished my like organization, and if we'd had more time, I would have been like, let me dive into the first thing.
Is it going to keep you up all
But
night
we've
now?
avoided that.
Ideas down?
I hope not. I think my plan for the rest of the evening is like a quick dip in the hotel hot tub, watch an
Nice.
episode of Dairy Girls, hopefully go to sleep.
Perfect. Perfect evening.
Right?
That sounds really nice.
Yeah, living my best life over here. I have to go to a statistics workshop in the morning, so I feel like I need some hot tub and some Dairy Girls to like prepare myself for.
I was gonna say, or you
statistics.
could just use that to sleep during.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
My unenlightened views on statistics.
Yeah.
You had some conversation in the chat with Joanne when she was chatting about what she's working on, and Tiffany came in and JC came in. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I showed you the lollipops that I got during your stream just to show that I didn't mean anything different. And I forgot to turn the timer on because I had the mute and the timer and the music, and when I have 3 things, something obviously is going to fall off.
Yeah.
And we had Mia come in. Yes, the timer, I was in deep focus. That said, Joanne, sounds like you're moving right along with your project. So this is a line that I actually have in my whip, and no spoilers, I just put something up on social media today because I've got 2 days left of my 30K and 30-day challenge, and I'm very excited about it. So this is in my mind, and I was just like, I wonder if an American audience would have something to say. Like, is it automatically in everyone's brain like it is in mine? And like, since this is set in Glasgow in the 1830s, I'm like, is this going to piss off any Brits that I sneak this in here near the end?
Interesting.
Okay, so now let's all say it at once. Certain, inalienable, right? Yeah, okay. So I think that people in the chat did have the same sort of blueprint, so I'm not.
Yeah, we got some yeses. Yeah.
And Jennifer Brown was in, and yes, she had a yes to the question, as did and Bethanne. I knew I had to stop. Don't say it because I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
JC wanted to come and say it. Hope you're having a good evening. Hi, Laura. There she is. Leslie's back, late but here. Very nice. Yes, there we go. Right. Yeah, and so I'm just wondering if, like, is it going to be weird negative, or is it going to be like weird, haha, I found an Easter egg? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it would jar me too badly, especially in a historical fiction novel where language is often like a little bit not modern, right? So it has that ring of like, yeah, these are not words we would put together in the 21st century. But yeah, I think I would probably get a little giggle out of it and move right along.
Okay. Well, we'll leave that in as an Easter egg, and we'll see what the editor thinks.
Right. You can always take it out.
Yeah. So I did lots of little things. I worked on basically putting stuff in my planner for the right times, the right names, did a little Canva work for thumbnails, and put the flight information into my planner because I find that makes me feel like I won't lose it. I don't know. I mean, it's all going to be on your phone, but if your phone gets stolen or something, I always have it on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm going to Missouri in a week and a half or something.
Oh, no. What are you doing in Missouri?
Visiting Booktube friends. What else?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that'll be fun.
Yeah,
it just keeps creeping closer and closer. So yeah, I did a flight in June to California. I did a road trip to Washington, which is not far, in July, and then I'll be flying to Missouri in August. So it's like for me, a packed summer of travel.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Wow. Of travel, like, oh my gosh. So that's not all the convention. Did you do any fun travel stuff?
I did. Yeah. I kicked off July with a conference, but then went to Alaska to visit my brother with my mom and daughter. So like nice family trip. Yeah. And then this big conference. And then I've got a month before I come back to California.
Oh my gosh.
My sister-in-law is getting married in the middle of September. So that's a very happy reason to come back to California. So
nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So she'll be in Leslie's neck of the woods. Tiffany saying, yay, Missouri. Oh, and apparently Laura's got stomach issues. Oh.
Yeah. That's never fun.
Yeah. Take it easy on yourself. Finish whatever tomorrow for sure. Yeah, my mom was telling me she thinks she has like pneumonia after having COVID. Like it's not going away and sort of settling in, and she couldn't sleep. And I was like, well, see the doctor or something, because it's not good to feel terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So feel better. Yeah, and as we're winding down, how do you feel after doing the exercise? Aside from I've got all these projects to do and I've got a hot tub that's waiting for me. Yes.
Yeah, I like to know what's the next thing that I'm going to work on. Like, what is I found that very helpful, because in like an academic science career, there's never enough time to do anything. And if you let that get to you, it's very easy to sort of spin out of control. So I like to sort of think about what's the next thing that I'm going to do. And even if I, of course, have to like not dedicate all of my life to that one thing and still have to make progress on other things, it helps to be like, okay, the next paper is this one. And that is the one that will be, my default to turn to when I have time for writing, and we're just going to like push it out. So I just like to know what's next. So yeah, I was sort of able to basically order the things that are on my plate in terms of like, this is the one for August. This is the one for September. Like, this is the one for October.
Wow. Okay. So that's
well, I probably won't stick to that necessarily, but it at least gives me it feels like I have momentum then, of like, this is the one I'm working on. And then a lot of things where it's like collaborators or students, but I need to bug them so that then they give me the thing. So then it's my turn. So just sort of strategizing, who do I bug first? Because I'm not going to just spend a whole day bugging people. So it's like, who do I bug next week? Who do I bug the week after that?
Little rounds of sending out feelers and then waiting and then
exactly.
I'm familiar with that. That's how I
right. You do a lot of that, right?
Yeah. I will bring to your notice. So Tuesday nights wind down. I did a couple of readings because one book I had read about shopkeeping got me in the feels about how I feel about writing. And then at the end of the stream, in the like winding down chat, I read a piece from Light Rain Sometimes Fall, which is the seasonal observations book that I've been reading for like a month and a half. And it was a piece about moths. No, bees, bumblebees, actual bumblebees. And other things. And I'm sure I mispronounced like the technical terms, but I just read this page and a half with this guy who's a bird watcher is trying to like look at things and give them their due magic, but also scientific context. And he's just very entertaining and funny and like relatable. So I read that and I was just chuckling at it. And then I was like, oh, and Bethanne probably knows everything he's talking about and what he's getting wrong.
Yeah, I'll have to go watch. Oh, that's great.
A couple minutes at the end of the stream on Tuesday.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah.
So I'm finding good bee things in my books.
Yes.
And also, I know this is like too involved for the slice that Booktube has in your life, but have you heard of the Herkiad?
Margaret, I am trying the Herkiad challenge.
Really?
Yeah, I've
my
been
God.
tracking, well, because I've been reading so much. So yeah, since
Okay.
the challenge started, I've read like 12 books.
Oh
So
my
I'm just slotting them in. Yeah, I haven't done much planning yet, but
gosh. Okay. Well,
yeah,
that's
I've been kind of,
exciting.
yeah. Well, and it's, I mean, it seems like a very fun challenge, and like I've lucked out so far. Like I got to knock out my 24-hour, 500 plus page book with
That's right.
Daughter of the
That's right.
Forest earlier this week. But yeah, so I mean, it's I like having a year, because the problem for me with a lot of challenges and readathons is that it just doesn't take much to sort of disrupt like a month or
Right.
disrupt a
Right.
week. And so if you were aiming for 4 books, but then you only finish 2, and with a year, it at least feels at this point optimistically early on like there is that space where you can make it up later.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So I am trying it. I've been putting my books in the spreadsheet. I feel like I've been making really good progress.
Nice.
So we'll see how it goes. How about you? Are you staying on track?
Yes, so it's been interesting. I've only watched a few videos of other people's strategies, but I am in the Discord every day, sort of checking off what people are talking about.
Cool.
And the strategy, I mean, there's a lot of prompts I haven't touched yet, but I've probably got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books, and 12. I guess I'm trying to do 2 prompts per book to double dip.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's a month in. So
Yeah.
yeah, they seem pretty doable, and like I like the focus of the readathon being stuff that I don't normally focus on, which is like the
Mhm.
LGBTQ community, and also indie books and science fiction, specifically indie
Right.
books. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna stretch the muscles
Yeah.
for that one.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah, there's a few that are a little harder, like the SPFBO semifinalists or non-finalists.
right, right.
Yeah, that one I'll have to do some research and some planning. Yeah, so I'm sort of my haphazard approach is I'm going to take a month or two to just slot things in as I read them. There's a bunch that I'm ticking off just doing that, and then maybe as we get towards the winter and I'm like hunkering down and getting cozy, and then I can maybe plan out my reading a little bit more and see where I'm missing some of those harder ones. We'll
Yeah.
see.
It's
Yeah.
interesting that you say that you have time to make it up if it's a year long, but she makes it the hardest reading challenge. So there is a lot of like challenging things. And so I'm kind of thinking,
Yes.
well,
Yeah.
I it's weird because whenever I'm participating in readathons where I do recommendations and I try to do something every year, it's usually like 1 book. I can get 1 book on my list per that month.
Right.
And
Right.
that's kind of it, because I have all these
Right.
other things going on, and my own sort of diverse list of like, is it different format? Is it a BIPOC book? Is it like stuff
Mhm.
really on this challenge? And I'm sort of okay with that minimum level. But for
Right.
this, I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I think I want to go all out on this. Like there's just so much energy around it.
It's fun. Yeah. 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 Well, and there are a few that you can't make up later, right? So the
Yeah.
read a new release in the month, like that one stresses me out. I did it for July. I've got a plan for August. But that one, because you have to really kind of do
Right.
your research a little bit, like what is actually going to be released in September and when in September, and can I read it? So that one stresses me out. But that's more your style of like I can get the one in, right? For the month. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, and the Kickstarter one, like I have very few Kickstarter things that I actually support.
Yeah. I'm
So
hoping Shannon does her Kickstarter.
your
I
second
think
book.
she will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think she said she is doing a Kickstarter for that one. So that is kind of my default plan, is I'm assuming she'll do that within the time frame of this readathon, and I would love to keep supporting her. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would do that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. Well,
Oh
you've
my
got,
gosh, Laura.
I know
Sorry.
Laura's talking about the
Oh.
toilet and her pup is keeping her company. That's all you can.
Sometimes modern appliances can totally be your friend for a night. That's great.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else coming up on Booktube that we should know to look to your channel for in the near future besides just future reviews?
Yeah, no, just future chat about books. I have no grand plans. So
Okay. I've
Yeah.
seen a couple tags lately that seem interesting, and I wasn't tagged in them, but they're on my to watch list. So I
Oh, good.
do one of
Okay.
those for my like when I'm traveling and I have an
Yeah.
absence.
Are you still doing, didn't you do Tag Tuesdays for a while? I feel like I haven't seen tags from you very much in the past several
No,
months.
I've been trying to do one tag video per month, but my
Okay.
normal
Yeah.
postings are Wednesday and Sunday. So I haven't done a
Right.
Tuesday for like a year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
Um, but yeah, once a month because I had a backlog and now I'm almost caught up. I'm within like 2 or 3 of being caught up. So yeah, so now I can go like pick amongst the other ones that other people have done instead of being like, oh, I'm guilting myself into doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
good stuff. Cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks Bethanne for joining. I'm glad this coincided that you're in my time zone and you're
Right.
covered, and I'm just keeping you for the hot tub. So I will let you off and enjoy the Dairy Girls
Yeah.
episode as well. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I'm watching the 3rd season for like the 3rd or 4th time. I love that show.
Oh, nice. I don't think I've
Yeah.
seen the 3rd season. I think I watched the first 2. The second
Yeah.
season is the one with the Liam Neeson episode, right?
No, that's the 3rd.
That's the 3rd?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe
I'm like, wait, I just watched that last night.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
great. I just saw clips of it then.
Love him. Yeah.
All right. Well, enjoy, and thank you everyone else. Remember to wind down, get some good rest, drink some water. And I wish you happy reading, everybody. See you next time.
Bye.